Welcome into the Jam Happy Hour. It is Gianna hanging out with you today. Looking forward to getting to know Dolour a little bit better, jumping in for an hour of music and conversation and just getting to know each other a little bit better. Hello, Shane.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm really glad that you could pop in with us today because I was kind of like pre-listening ahead, and I'm really, really excited by your sound and what you're doing with your music, and I'm thrilled to share it. So how are you doing on this lovely day?
I am good. I'm coming at you from Music City, Nashville here.
Oh.
And yeah, it's a beautiful day.
I love Nashville, and there's so many exciting things happening there, not just musically, just creatively. It is such a neat city.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been out here about 12 years now. I'm from Seattle, Washington originally, but
big difference.
Yeah. It's been long enough now where this definitely feels like at least a second home, if not my hometown now. But
that's so great. There's also a huge food scene. There's the art scene. There's I lived there for a hot second, so I try to visit as much as I possibly can. I am coming to you from Orlando today, so.
Oh, right on. Okay.
But of course, it's all about the wine out in Napa, and this is our virtual jam tasting room. So if you ever make it out that way, please come out and join us.
So are you like green screened up over there, or is that?
I am. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I try to make it back as often as I can. I was just there like a week ago. I'll be back in another week. So I guess I'm bi-coastal.
Love it.
And I take the music with me no matter where I go. So the beauty of technology, I think that we've all learned in the last couple of years, is you can pretty much do anything from anywhere and still connect.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, especially these last couple of years, we've all learned that big time.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you ever think you'd be set up in your home? Right. Playing music for people and.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like kind of forced me to put a home studio together, and so in a lot of ways, I kind of have the pandemic to thank for how productive I've been the last couple of years.
That's a really great way to look at it. I hadn't thought of it that way. Yes, we're all much more productive because we can sit at home, and I may or may not be wearing yoga pants. So if somebody isn't familiar with your sound, like you said, you've been in Nashville for quite some time. Musically, though, you've been putting out a lot of different things over the last couple of years. So I hate the question. I don't mean to pigeonhole, and we're going to jump into the music right away. But if you had to describe your sound, how would you describe it?
Yeah, Dolour for me is a project I'm kind of returning to. It was a project I started like back in high school when I was like 16, and I had put out a handful of records through my early to mid 20s, and I'm into so many different types of music, and I've kind of followed a lot of different journeys. What led me to Nashville was kind of getting into roots music.
Oh yeah.
And then somehow being here a few years, I ended up getting into electronic pop music and stuff, and then it sort of ended up coming full circle back to Dolour, which really is like kind of. I mean, to me, I sort of feel like I'm kind of combining everything I love about music. There's a little bit of singer-songwriter to it. There's a little bit of, kind of Baroque pop and, kind of Beach Boys kind of stuff. And
all the things.
As well as, I grew up in Seattle in the middle of, Nirvana and all that stuff. And so that's absolutely in the DNA as well. So.
Fantastic. Well, how about we jump in right away on a song, and everybody can kind of get a taste of what Dolour is all about in this new 2022 version. What song would you like to play for us first?
I'd like to start with the song called The Comeback Kid, which is a single I put out earlier this year. And I guess in sort of a roundabout way, it's sort of about coming back to... there's just a lot of like full circle moments happening in life the last few years for me, and and coming back to Dolour would be one of them. So so this song's sort of I'd hate to define it too closely. I mean, it can be whatever you want it to be, but that's sort of a little bit.
That's the beauty of music. Yeah,
exactly.
All right, well, here's Dolour with The Comeback Kid.
Woo.
Well, I didn't know if I'd see you again, but I'm the comeback kid. Yeah, I'm coming round the bend, and I didn't know how long it would last, but I Well, I was running wild and never following through, but I'm the one you chose, and I'm coming back for you. By now, who cares how long it will last? 'Cause everybody knows life is moving way too fast, and I won't make you hold your breath, 'cause I'm the one that wants you. Yeah, I'm the one that needs you. Please don't give up on me. Please don't give up on me. Please don't give up on me. Don't give up on me.
I love the ending. That was fun. There you go. A taste of Dolour here in the Jam Happy Hour. Am I hearing a little Elton influence in that one?
Oh, hey, I love some Elton for sure.
I mean,
I'll
you
take
think
it.
about what he's doing right now, you know, a 50-year career,
Oh,
dipping
yeah.
out on top.
Yep.
Like, whoa.
He's got all those remixes happening and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about collaborations?
You know, one thing, I've collaborated a lot in my life, but one of the things about returning to Dolour was it kind of just timed out. It was just before the pandemic hit. I was like, you know, I'm going to make, I've kind of flirted with making albums by myself over the years. You know, there would be like a song or two on each record where it would just be me playing everything.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of been inching towards that over time, and so I finally was like, you know, I'm just gonna do it, and then it ended up being such a blessing because in the middle of the pandemic, I was able to sort of just keep going with that. And,
Nobody was hanging out, so
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I do love collaborations, and I've worked with a lot of different artists outside of my own music and within my music, but these days I'm really I'm just really enjoying kind of you know, when you're kind of the guy behind the drums, behind the bass, behind, you know, the keys, the guitars, there's just a certain like authenticity to it that
Sure. Also a ton of pressure.
yeah, a little bit, but you know,
You're the guy. I mean,
yeah, I guess you don't have to like massage anybody's egos though through the process. You kind of just, you know, like I'm my own worst critic, so I'm kind of just like battling myself through the process, you know. But no, I do love collaborating. This last summer, I the first shows, you know, since the pandemic, I toured as a bass player for Jessica Lee Mayfield, and I've done a lot of kind of hired gun gigs over the years, playing bass or keys. Or there was one summer where, or about a 6-month period where I went out as a guitar player, went out as a drummer, went out as a bass player, and went out as a keyboard player. And so kind of after that run, I was sort of like, you know, maybe I should apply these skills to my own music, you know?
Right, yeah. Then come back and again bring it back around full circle, as you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
It's funny you used the term "hired guns." Have you seen that documentary?
Man, I saw that that one that was like 20 Feet from Stardom. There's about the
Another good
backup
one.
singers, yeah, or Standing in the Shadows of Motown.
Standing in the Shadows of Motown is fantastic. I own the DVD.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That blows
So yeah, I've
my
watched
mind.
a few. I don't know if I've seen Hired Guns though.
Hired Guns is all about that. It's hiring musicians
Okay.
for touring. And,
Okay.
you know, some that were, you know, so close that you assumed that they were in the band, and then you see them in this
Oh,
other
right.
band, and then you see them in this other band. And it's like, it's very good.
Yeah.
So I'm into music documentaries. And if we got one thing out of the pandemic, it was a lot of stuff to watch on TV.
Absolutely, yeah. I could talk for an hour just about music docs and stuff.
Okay, well, we'll do that offline. If you guys want to connect with Shane and Dolour, you can follow them on Instagram. Not them, it's him, at Dolour Official. And we put it down there at the bottom there, too.
Yeah.
You obviously are very creative, and you've been playing music. Is this the multi-instrument thing? Was that something that started at a young age?
Yeah, I mean, I never even looked at it beyond just like learning enough to sort of make little home demos, when I was a kid. So it was never like, I'm going to be a multi-instrumentalist. It was, both my parents are musical. I come from a long line of musicians. So there was a piano in the house. Always my dad was a bass player. I got an acoustic guitar when I was like in 4th grade, and it sort of just built, like I'd sneak my dad's bass out from under his bed, and
that's not what I was sneaking out from under my parents' bed.
Well, yeah, there's other stuff too, but yeah, I mean, it was like we had this little karaoke machine that was like it had 2 tape decks on it, so I could like record on one tape and then play that tape like while I was recording something else on the other.
Almost
tape.
like a reel to reel.
Yeah, so I kind of learned how to like overdub records like just from like using this little karaoke machine in middle school, and so because those instruments were around, I would just sort of like figure out some notes that worked, and over time, that was the thing about moving to Nashville. I moved here as an artist, but I realized pretty quickly that like just having all the different the skill set I'd kind of developed on my own ended up like working to for other artists, and getting involved with producing and playing.
We've discussed it on here once or twice before, especially with the Nashville-based artists. There's such a unique artist community there that there are like on Monday nights you get together with other songwriters. On Tuesday nights you get together with other bass players, and it's like it's such a collaborative effort to push everybody up. I don't think there's any other city like it.
Yeah, I mean, coming from a very music town like Seattle to Nashville, I was surprised just like there was, at least at the period I moved here, there just didn't seem to be as much like, there was a lot of competition with the bands in Seattle, but in Nashville there was a lot more of like a community kind of spirit to it, which was very cool. And I did a lot of co-writing in those first few years living in town, and cool.
Which is all just honing your chops. It's all, putting in the work and putting in the effort and getting better at what you're doing and what you want to put out there. I mean, I'm sure if you wrote for somebody else versus writing for you, it's going to have a different feel, a different taste, a different texture.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I found that, it's like you're writing in a whole different mindset than you would for your own stuff. So it's like, lyrics that, I guess the thing that was a little bit of a bummer for me about it was like when we were done, unless somebody did something with that song, it was rarely a song that I would want to do something with because it would be such a different kind of thing. So,
like your little musical babies just sitting over there in the corner.
Yeah, honestly, that kind of like broke my heart a little bit because there was a lot of rights where it's like, I'm like, that's really cool, but unless it already has a home waiting for it, it became, a lot of sort of, sometimes it felt like wasted creativity or something. But
I don't think any of it's ever wasted, but maybe you'll just come back around and revisit it again, since that seems to be a bit of a theme. So you grow up musical in this musical household. You obviously take to it very young. You're putting out music at 16 under this, the Dolour moniker. What would you tell 16-year-old Shane about what was going to be coming?
I feel like I did a decent job of this, but I think one of the biggest things is just, be sure to always stay true to yourself and, don't hop on trends or don't get hung up on bands that seem to be doing better than you or, just stay the course. And, I feel grateful that for the most part that kind of was my journey, but I think that's an important thing for anyone, because I feel like I've been doing it long enough now where I can look back at maybe the things that I was sort of jealous of or this or that, and maybe those things aren't even doing anything now, and so
interesting how that all works out.
Yeah, I go back and forth on being really proud of sort of being a lifer, and then also sort of looking at the friends that ended up getting real jobs and other things, and I'm like, maybe they had it more figured out than me, but I don't know.
I'm always slightly jealous of my friends that can do the 9 to 5 and then at 5 o'clock it's done and they don't have to ever think about it again. I'm like, that's nice. Right. I don't know if I could do that because I'm sure you're always musically thinking, you're always writing, you're always arranging, you're always kind of putting it all together. Like, I don't think you could stop.
Yeah, I have tried a couple times and it doesn't seem to last too long.
You failed at quitting. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to jump in on another song. What would you like to play for us next here in the Jam Happy Hour?
I have this little system here rigged off camera. Okay.
I'm very curious as to everybody's like behind the scenes setup because
I took a picture
what you think it is.
It's such a mess. Like I had to put it in my Instagram story. So if you check out the Instagram story, you'll see.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now.
What an absolute mess it is behind this camera. But yeah, there's a song called Yes and No. It opens up the first album that I returned to with Dolour. The album was called The Royal We, and this song is called Yes and No.
I love it.
That was like almost like a DJ introduction. I like it. All right.
Well, tell me, why did everything change? When did you become so aloof? Suddenly you're acting so strange. Now I have a burden to prove. Well, there's too many questions, not enough confessions. I'll try to understand if you only just don't say yes when you mean no, and don't say stop when you mean go. And don't say yes when you mean no, and don't say stop when you mean go. It's just not fair anymore. It's just not fair. Your love for me is never the same. It changes from day to day. Treating everything like a game. You're still afraid I don't wanna play. Oh, there's too many questions, not enough confessions. I'll try to understand if you only just don't say yes when you mean no, and don't say stop when you mean go, and don't say yes when you mean no, and don't say stop when you mean go. It's just not fair anymore. It's just not fair. And I can't read your mind. It's changing all the time. But you know the answers I can find to yes and no. Oh, there's too many questions, not enough confessions. I'll try to understand if you only just don't say yes when you mean no, and don't say stop when you mean go. Don't say yes when you mean no, and don't say stop when you mean go. And don't say yes when you mean no, and don't say stop when you mean go. And don't say yes when you mean go, and don't say stop when you mean go. And don't say yes when you mean no, and don't say stop when you mean go.
Yes and no from Dolour.
Yeah.
Good lyrics. I mean, I love a
thank
lyric
you.
story. I love like the cadence behind the words, and I've always found it very curious. Like when it comes to different songwriters, do you go into a song kind of with the lyrics in mind, or is it more like you grab it musically and then fill in the story from there?
For me, it's usually a combo. Like, it's hard for me to ever get too far with a song unless there's some sort of lyrical idea involved. Like, if it's just music, it doesn't really go anywhere unless I kind of feel like there's some sort of like little message or something. And so usually, if there's like a phrase or something that kind of comes with the music, then you kind of explore, well, what does that phrase mean, or what could it mean, or
What's
is
the
music
story?
Yeah. So it's kind of ends up being a journey, and being that I record and mix everything myself too, it kind of doesn't ever stop until it's like done, so
How do you know it's done? how do you get the tingle? Do you get you finally can't tweak it anymore? Like, how do you know when you're
Yeah.
doing all the things, all the things? How do you know when you're done?
It is really it's super tough. Like I'm working on a song right now that I've been kind of going back and forth with for like 2 years, and it's literally driving me crazy. But yeah, there usually is a moment where it's like, okay, I don't want to change anything, you know. And when you get to that point where you're like, nothing's bothering me, nothing's fighting musically or lyrically or sonically, you know, I'm a Libra, and some about balance, you know, maybe there's something.
You're like, okay,
yeah, once like
We're
everything's like in equilibrium land, and that to me is a little bit of the judgment.
it's a rare feeling.
It is. I mean, that's why I love music, because in music you can kind of like make things perfect that in life, you know, is impossible.
And then, you know, as an artist, you get to put it out there. Like today, I mean, I was having a crummy morning and I was like, you know what? I just turned on all the speakers in the house. I just put on some music and I just let it blast for a little while. And I'm like,
What did you
better.
play?
I was playing some beach
honest.
weather. I was.
Okay.
I was playing
Okay.
some beach weather. I was playing
Okay.
some Killers. I was playing some Youngblood. I was
Okay.
playing. I was on a very alternative kind of a mood this morning. It was all loud and upbeat, and Almost Monday was on there too. It's a good reset. And so, as an artist, when you put stuff out there, do you realize like you're helping reset somebody's bad day, or you're helping somebody fall in love, or you're helping somebody get through a heartbreak? Like, do you ever think about where the songs go to live?
I should think about that more. I think just because of the nature of it all, it's like you're just in your head so much of the time that
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to. We're finally going to be playing a live show for the first time since the pandemic. And
1
the first
month
time-
from today. No
Exactly.
stress.
That's right. And it will be a full band show, which will be exciting. But to me, that will really, for the first time since returning to Dolour, like give me a chance to like interact with humans in like a real way. You know, I mean, I've done some live stream kind of stuff over the last few years, but it's just such a different.
Nothing
thing
else
to,
like it.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that, and like that, just that energy transference between people, that I've really missed,
I find that very interesting because you would think that, as an artist who is now, doing all the instruments, all the arranging, all the recording, is there an introvert that lives inside of you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think, I feel like I've always been sort of an introvert, extrovert. Like if I know
Libra?
somebody, yeah, right. If I know somebody well, I can gab for hours. As you're maybe seeing a little bit of now.
I think you're doing great, but I think as far as like when you go
But
to
if
do
I'm at
live
like a
music-
party, I'm like in the corner waiting to find that other weirdo,
Yeah.
smoking a cigarette out back, and
you can eyeball each other like you're my
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does that translate to being on stage though? Being back in front of an audience for the first time in years.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I thankfully I did that tour this summer playing bass, which was kind of
Others,
like,
yeah.
Stepping one foot in that direction, but I wasn't carrying the show. But I think it's going to be great because it's going to be a hometown show in Seattle for me.
Oh, great.
Which would be awesome, and
Friends, family, like everybody's coming.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's such a
It
good
should be great, and I just think the energy hopefully will just kind of be good going into it. It's not like I still haven't done any Dolour shows in Nashville, and so it would be like a brand new band out here, for people, and that would definitely be a different experience. But going in front of people that hopefully are there because they're into it kind of helps.
Yeah. Some that were around when you were 16.
Yeah. There's
Another full circle moment.
right. Generations of people. We'll see. Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah. 1 month from today, that is going to come up fast. You're just going to pick out for Thanksgiving and then just like mentally prepare.
Yeah. I'm only getting in town a couple days early, so I'm gonna, I got some dudes out there learning the songs. We're gonna run it a few times and just rock and roll. So,
well, will you be performing the next song that you're going to perform for us?
yeah, actually, I will be. Let's see. Good segue.
I got lucky there. Whew. I was hoping.
Yeah, this song is the title track of the album called Televangelist, which was like the second Return to Dolour album. So this came out last year, and the first album, which I played that last song from, was like basically songs that I had gone back to that I had kind of started back in that original era but had never finished.
Okay.
So that whole record was really just sort of like unfinished business with those songs. And once I kind of put that record up for pre-order and started kind of seeing the excitement of old fans and new fans and stuff, it just gave me a lot of inspiration. So I ended up like immediately, we were still in the middle of the pandemic at the time, so I had, I was stuck at home anyways. Yeah. And so I ended up, just making a whole album within like 6 months of like the first new Dolour songs really start to finish. So this was the title track of the album. And Televangelist is not at all a religious song. It was one of those things where I sort of just had this moment thinking about social media and how we've all kind of turned into televangelists. But then this song ended up becoming more of like begging for love, like a televangelist, and a lot of the songs that are kind of seem like love songs, I find are kind of more like singing to the muse, like singing to the song gods,
yeah,
begging for their mercy. So, so yeah, it's a little bit like all of the songs. They're sort of there's a bunch of different directions you can go with it. So.
Well, we're ready to take the journey with you here with Dolour and the Jam Happy Hour.
Ow!
I won't control you, oh. I want the whole you, oh. I'll never change you, oh. I want to strange you, oh. Who am I to try and deny? It's written in the stars up in the sky. You got me doing the twist like a televangelist. Down on my knees, begging you please. You make my whole body shake like a California quake. However it aches, whatever it takes. I won't try to save you, oh. Enslave or deprave you, oh. I won't exchange you, oh. I won't rearrange you, oh. Who am I to try and deny? It's written in the stars up in the sky. You got me doing the twist like a televangelist. Down on my knees, begging you please. You make my whole body shake like a California quake. However it aches, whatever it takes. My mind's in a bind all of the time. Why can't you see what you're doing to me? You got me doing the twist like a televangelist. Down on my knees, begging you please. You make my whole body shake like a California quake. However it aches, whatever it takes. You got me doing the twist like a televangelist. Down on my knees, begging you please. You make my whole body shake like a California quake. However it aches, whatever it takes.
I get it. I got a little bit of it. I got the social media, the begging for attention, the, accept me, love me.
Yes.
Social media, friend or foe?
What do they say? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Closer. Yeah.
Yeah. I try to like keep a healthy balance of sort of sharing, my life, what I want to share, or
right.
I feel like I'm getting to a decent place. There's definitely times where like I hate it, or I feel like the wrong things get celebrated or whatever, but like I feel like what I would want to be sharing would be like super boring content, like of like me like doing like fiddling with stuff for like
I
hours.
think so. I think those are the kinds of things that I think people want to see more of, honestly, like real, actual, this is what goes on behind the scenes life.
But the impression that I think a lot of artists get is you post a picture of a dog and that's the way to get, attention, So yeah, it's a little bit of a balance.
We'll push the algorithm.
Yeah, exactly. So, you try to find a way to, get the dog incorporated with the process too. And
if you could get the dog playing the drums.
Yes. Next album. Absolutely.
But it is like it's on one level, it's very, just like anything could like take off and trend and you have no control over it whatsoever. And then on the other side of it, here's a way to connect directly to your fans or the people that are, getting to know your music, maybe revisiting it from the first time around or just getting to know, you for the first time, in this 2022 version, and they can reach out directly to you, which can be awesome and also scary at the same time too, I bet.
Yeah, I haven't had to block too many folks, but no, I do love that. Even pre-social media, I was always kind of like looking for ways of sort of breaking that fourth wall or whatever of just communicating directly with your audience or your friends, your fans, whatever. So I do like that.
Wall is gone now.
yeah, absolutely. There is no wall.
There is no wall anymore. Nothing between you and the music. And maybe that's not a bad thing too. I think, collectively everybody's been going through definitely a little bit of revisiting and changing and rethinking things over the last few years for sure. And, here you get to do it musically in front of everybody, bare. In a sense of a way, now that it's like it's out there, which I think is kind of exciting, and that's like the good side of it. Like you can just pop it out there or be like, hey, what do you think about this? Or I saw you did a post about thinking about doing my first show in a while. Anybody want to help? And I think that's really cool. Like that's the good side of it.
Yeah, honestly, like the few times that I've done that, I'm always like, man, that's what social media should be for. Because like, you really sometimes you just don't even know who's out there that can help you with different things. And as an independent artist, I mean, it's amazing when you can kind of just like reach out to your community, and there's someone that's like, hey, this club or these bands would be great. Or I'm kind of on the very beginning stages of looking at some solo tours for next year.
That's
and
exciting.
Kind of doing that approach of sort of like finding out where people that can help are, and sort of like finding little bubbles. So I do hope to make it out to around Napa at some point in the next year. So
you'll have to come and play the tasting room for sure.
Yeah, I heard about that.
We would love to have you. If people did want to follow along. What is that? We'll put the socials back up there again, but where are you posting a lot of your content these days? Like what's your favorite platform?
I think Instagram is probably my favorite. I mean, Facebook would be fine, but it's like it seems like every update they make, it gets like more complicated and harder to like navigate. At least from like a music page side of it, I'm like, I don't even know where messages are going. Like it's like it's just kind of a mess, and a lot of people have left Facebook too, and And then Twitter, it's kind of
Lord,
its
it's the
own
Wild
little
West
thing.
right now.
Yeah. I'm thinking about changing my name to Elon Musk. We'll see how that works.
He won't let you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody tried that already.
Yeah. I dabbled in TikTok for a minute, but I think Instagram's kind of my place. So yeah.
All right. Well, we'll definitely be following along, and as hopefully you start to announce some of those shows or posting more music, we'll definitely be able to see it right there. Speaking of the music, I would love to jump in on another song. It's the world's fastest hour, and it goes so quick, and I do not want to cut out this music. So what would you like to play for us next?
Okay, this is another one from the Royal We, which was
love that
the
name
first
so
record
much.
back. Yeah, it really worked for a record that was all by my lonesome. But yeah, this song's called "The Snake Eye," and it's a phrase that an old friend had said that I'd never heard before, and I don't even think it's a real phrase. But I was like, "That's great! I'm going to use it in a song." So
you're like, and we
at least not in this meaning, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
Oh no! Don't give me jokes.
Not that
Shane.
meaning either.
Don't give me jokes.
All
Jump
right,
into
no
the
more
music.
jokes.
Save us quickly.
Okay.
but I broke your heart. I'm coming back, let's restart. I was the one who taught you how to be the one that you are today. But everyone you know is giving me the snake eye. Your sister and your friends, the snake eye. Co-workers and your cats are giving me the snake eye. I was your first, you were my best. We were so young, you know the rest. We made our own rules, now we must break them. Who'd you be if you never met me? But everyone you know is giving me the snake eye. Your sister and your friends, the snake eye. Co-workers and your cats are giving me the snake eye. But I don't blame them, no. We'll run away from all the judges. If we stay, we'll always carry our grudges. It's up to us if we can make it. I don't know if I can take it. Ooh. I was your love, but I broke your heart. I'm coming back, let's restart. But everyone you know is giving me the snake eye. Co-workers and your cats, the snake eye. Your sister and your friends are giving me the snake eye. But I don't blame them, no. But everyone you know is giving me the snake eye. Your sister and your friends, the snake eye. Co-workers and your cats are giving me the snake eye.
That is, it's a great lyric because I think cats give everybody the snake eye.
Right.
They're always looking at you with the side eye. Now, that's a phrase I've heard. I don't know if it's a Southern
Okay.
thing, but yeah. Giving somebody the snake eye, like,
Yeah. Right.
You.
I would say like the evil eye or something. I don't know. It was just
Yeah.
whenever I hear a phrase that's kind of new to me, I usually end up throwing it in a song. But
exploring it. Like, what can we do with this?
yeah.
It's a good phrase. It can go in a lot of different ways. I was thinking about, I know, sitting around and doing, all the music and all the recording and all the everythings. Is there an instrument that you haven't learned how to play yet that you'd want to?
Oh, there's a lot. One that I actually bought a cello, like a really cheap cello off Amazon, like at the start of the pandemic, and I was like, I'm gonna learn. Like I've always loved the cello, but I've never really done like string instruments like that. And
Well, the guitar is kind of a big string instrument.
yeah, I mean it relates, but it's tuned differently than guitars or basses. But
Right.
so, and even just like learning how to like resin the bow was like a whole different world. And so I kind of got to a point where I could make a little bit of sound out of it, but literally the whole thing fell apart because it was like a $100 cello.
Yeah.
It's in the corner somewhere, like needing some wood glue or something. But
Well, it's become furniture now.
yeah, yeah. But I've been. My family has a long history of Hawaiian lap steel playing, and so I've been kind of dabbling with that the last few years and getting a little better at it. But that would probably be the next one. That and dobro are kind of similar, and kind of been working on those the last couple of years. But
Well, it's good to challenge yourself.
yeah, absolutely.
Continue to grow.
Yeah.
Now, musically, do you ever collaborate with your wife? Because I know she's, an artist as well. I mean,
Yeah, that was actually how we got together. So, Tanya Montana Co. She she had somebody that I'd kind of like known through mutual friends and sort of had a little crush on for a long time.
Well, that worked out well.
Yeah, and then suddenly one night we ran into each other, and she said she was needing help finishing some songs, and I was so excited to have an opportunity to hang with her. But then all of a sudden I was like Mr. Professional Guy, and I was like, I can't, cross any lines. And then luckily it got to the point where she got a crush on me, and so then we were able to kind of navigate that. But yeah, I ended up producing both her albums and playing a lot of the instruments on them too. But she's just a great natural songwriter, and she'll kind of work up the start of something, and I'll usually kind of either help her finish it musically or maybe throw a line in or two. But yeah, she also runs a women's boutique here in Nashville, and that takes up most of her time. So she has a real job to kind of balance between.
Next time I'm in town, I'm coming to get my shop on. But that kind of leads into my next question, though. Like, because you guys are so musically minded, like, what do you do for downtime? How do you get away from it?
Me and my wife.
Yeah, just like me. Yeah. What do you like to do when you just want to clear your head of music and creating? Like, what is your go-to?
I don't know, Bachelor in Paradise or something.
That's a good one.
Bad TV.
Bad TV.
Yeah. No, we just recently started watching Yellowstone, and we've watched all 4 seasons like in the last week.
Well, it just started again.
Yeah, and now we've watched those 2 episodes. So
I haven't. No, no spoilers.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a great one to lose yourself into.
They all died.
Damn it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we love our, because she's super consumed with her work, and I am as well, and we kind of have that in common, which is great. But we definitely love our like decompress with shows and popcorn, and
just turn it all
pretty
off
much every night. Yeah. So
I find it interesting, like with some artists, and I know that you create on multi levels, but when you do put kind of a song together, do you think of it of kind of having almost like a character to it? Like a sad song's a sad character, or the up songs, or I tend to think I package my songs together. So I have my happy songs, and I have my sad songs, and I have my introspective songs. Like, are they like little musical babies? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, no, I think there is something to that. Like, I definitely, with over the years, I can sort of think of like certain songs that are kind of like sister songs or something like that.
Okay.
I've heard, I think it might have been like Bono or something like that, like saying that, as an artist, it's like you're sort of describing the same thing from a different window of the house in each era of your thing. And I definitely related to that, where it's like I feel like I can kind of go through every one of my albums and find songs that sort of are expressing the same thing in a different way, or from a different angle, or like, kind of related or following that same sort of line of thought. And so yeah, I maybe not as much character, but I mean, relatives for sure. They're definitely a big family at this point.
Oh yeah, a big dysfunctional family.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're all talking at this point, though. So
behind your back, as children seem to do. We are in the Jam Happy Hour today with Dolour, and if you are enjoying, please go follow on all of your favorite playlists, as well as on your socials too, because that's what this community is all about. I mean, yes, we like to get together and enjoy some wine, but we love to support music and to meet new artists like yourself, or get to know. You're not new, but new maybe to somebody here. And we've got time, I think, for a couple more songs. I don't want to cut into that, so let's jump into our next song. What would you like to play for us next?
All right, what do we got here? Okay, yeah, this is one that's also from the Televangelist album. And this song is called Baby You're a Faker.
I love your titles, by the way. I was like, God, I hope he plays Baby You're a Faker. I want to know the story behind that title so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think it might be one of those like Carly Simon, You're So Vain things where I'm not going to reveal, but only because
it's Warren Beatty. We know it's Warren.
Yeah, we do. But it's like 3 guys though, right? But this song, it was about I'll say it was about a collaborator, so it wasn't a romantic thing.
Okay.
It was actually about, there's a lot of fakers out there, and but people also say everything you write is sort of a mirror to yourself. So there's that too.
Ouch.
See, we can.
Did we just go to therapy?
Yeah, I think we just did.
Okay. Baby, you're a
Yeah.
faker.
Baby,
So
you're a
Laura
faker.
here in the Jam Happy Hour.
All right.
When you run out of emotions you pretend to have, looking for a magic rabbit in your hat, everyone will see that you were singing flat. But I knew all along. Have you ever had a single thought to call your own? I'm sorry if it's breaking news, your cover's blown. The emperor was never wearing any clothes, but I knew all along. And when your house of cards fall, you see how thin the ice you skate on is.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm starting it one more time. All right, one more time from the top.
When you run out of emotions you pretend to have, looking for a magic rabbit in your hat, everyone will see that you were singing flat. But I knew all along. Have you ever had a single thought to call your own? I'm sorry if it's breaking news, your cover's blown. The emperor was never wearing any clothes, but I knew all along. And when your house of cards fall, you see how thin the ice you skate on is. Baby, you're a faker, a knockoff Gucci handbag. You shake your money maker. I'm only seeing red flags while you're second guessing all your second-hand advice, looking at solutions for the lowest price. You think you fooled me once, you think you fooled me twice, but I knew all along. And when your house of cards fall, you see how thin the ice you skate on is. Baby, you're a faker. Your silver turns my skin green. Baby, you're a taker. Your love's a pyramid scheme. Baby, you're a faker, a paint-by-numbers Van Gogh. No one gonna take her. I think it's time that you know. Well, baby, you're a faker. Well, baby, you're a faker. Baby, you're a faker. Baby, you're a faker. Baby, you're a faker. Ah,
Whoo-wee.
Baby, you're a faker. Some great lyrics in that one too, though. Paint by numbers, Van Gogh, turning my skin
Yeah.
green. Like,
It
I,
was
I
like,
get this story.
it was fun. It was like a very like Mad Libs kind of song, you know. It's just like, okay, what are they this time? You know, each chorus kind of a little different.
Oh my God, Mad Libs. I haven't thought about those in Lord knows how long. That would be a fun kind of social media experiment. See if you could write a
Right.
song with your fans using Mad Libs.
I'm into it. All right, folks, comment now with suggestions.
Totally. Why not? We've got this big, beautiful universe. Why not use it that way?
Amen.
You have put out a lot of music in the last couple of years in comparison to some other artists. Is this your typical pace of
No,
how you
I
just
think
like
I'm
to...
like, no, I'm like 100% completely burned out now and probably like never going to make another record. But
Don't say that.
No, I really kind of just like kept my nose to the grindstone. You know, that was kind of my reaction to the pandemic in a lot of ways, was just sort of like, all right, if I keep working hard, COVID won't get me or something,
All right.
So, yeah, I mean, I've always been pretty prolific. I haven't gone through big writer's block moments or stuff like that, but I definitely kind of like overdid it for sure. I mean, kind of like 2 albums a year for the last couple years, and
And now you've got a lot of new material to tour.
yeah, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to 2023. I mean, there's music in the works right now, but
Sure.
I really can't wait to like actually perform these songs live for people, and the other end of the musician spectrum of performing. I've been missing. So
I remember when I used to go see REM. I had a big thing for REM back like in the 90s, and I would go see them as much as I possibly could. And living in Southeast United States, you could do that a few times a year. And I would see Michael Stipe have all of his lyrics like always up. And he was like, I've just written so many songs, I can't remember them all. Sorry. And
wow.
like, if you keep writing at this click, you're going to find yourself in that same situation, Shane.
Yeah, I'm already there for sure.
You're going to have to
Absolutely.
study for tour.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like you can remember the songs from like 20 years ago, but like
Right.
the new ones that should be the freshest, are those ones sometimes take.
You haven't
Longer,
ground them in yet.
Yeah, I haven't ground them in. So yeah, I think after I get some more shows under my belt, I should be good. But I definitely have a little cheat sheet, a little Michael Stipe cheat sheet over here.
I mean, he
the
did all
website.
right.
Yeah, he did okay.
He did okay. Well, hopefully you can make it out to Napa and perform with us soon. We would love to see you out there. And
Yeah.
we'll be following along on the socials for when those dates start to pop up for 23. We've got time for about one more song. What would you like to close out the Jam Happy Hour with this evening?
I'm gonna take it back to the old school for me. This year is actually the 20th anniversary of Dolour's second album, Suburbiac.
Wow. Does it feel weird to say that?
It's super weird, and like so I kind of like just for my own self, I kind of like really got into it on social media, like sharing old photos and
Aww.
just trying to kind of like, I feel like I hadn't, I don't often do a big anniversary thing for stuff, but yeah, that
20's kind of a big deal.
20 is kind of a big deal. Yeah, the first album kind of came and went at 20, and I was like, okay, I need to do something for the second album. So, but the second album really was kind of like the first one where I really like dove into the multi-instrumentalist thing, and the first record was sort of the end of the original band days, kind of turning into a solo project.
Gotcha.
So I kind of look at the second album as sort of like the first real record of kind of the journey I've followed since then.
Sure.
Anywho, this song is
I
called
still can't believe it's 20 years. I'm still
No,
sitting
I
on
know.
that one.
It's bonkers, yeah. So yeah, this song's called "A Billion Odd People," and it's from the album Suburbiac.
Wonderful. Thank
and
you.
actually, one of the records I did last year was called "Origin Story," where I like reimagined some of the original
previous
period Dolour.
songs.
Yeah, and this song's on that as well. So you can find the original version and the Origin Story version of "A Billion Odd People" on Spotify.
And soon this version.
Bandcamp. And soon this version. Yeah. All right.
I love it. Thank you.
Well, I'll be your one and only, but I'd only let you down. I want your love, but I don't know what I'd do with it. 'Cause there's 150,000 people better than me. No, there's 100 million people who are better for you. No, there's a billion odd people who are better than me. But you don't know them, and they don't care about you. You don't know them, they don't care about you. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. in a shoebox in the closet. But now the door barely shuts. There's so much to hide away. 'Cause there's 150,000 people better than me. No, there's 100 million people who are better for you. No, there's a billion odd people who are better than me. But you don't know them, and they don't care about you. You don't know them, and they don't care about you. I'll be your one and only, but I'd only let you down. I want your love, but I don't know what I'd do with it. 'Cause there's 150,000 people better than me. No, there's 100 million people who are better for you. No, there's a billion odd people who are better than me. But you don't know them, and they don't care about you. You don't know them, and they don't care about you. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm just scared of falling in love. I'm just scared of falling in love.
That doesn't feel like it's 20 years old, though.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there in the vocal range for sure. But
No. So you find some of those older songs may have to be revisited just because.
right.
You don't think about that. Like, that's very interesting. Like, to go back and like pull these songs back from, when we
Yeah.
were young and dumb and could do anything.
Right.
And now it's like you got to protect the instrument because that's an instrument too.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely in my early 20s for whatever reason. I loved singing too high for that age as well. So now, it's been a minute, and yeah, got to clear out those cobwebs. But
Well, and now you also have to like take care of that thing.
yeah, you try.
Well, I'm certainly impressed with your music ability. That is, the fact that you're doing an entire project completely like on your own, I think is just like slightly mind blowing. And I know it's something I could never blow off, but the music is fantastic. And, we've certainly enjoyed the hour getting to know you a little bit better. And we will be following along and hopefully seeing some of those live shows in the near future. So cheers to you. Thank you
Yay.
for hanging out in the Jam Happy Hour with us this evening. And
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Eyes
great,
on
great meeting
Dolour.
you.
Nice to meet you too. Hopefully in Napa next time. Bring your
Yes.
beautiful wife and
Yes.
we'll make a party of it.
All right, perfect.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
All right, you